Neil Price.
I thought we've had it in us, but as far as getting everything kind of congruent, I think that's been the challenge, and it was a challenge tonight too because again we had kind of a skeleton crew out there, but I was very proud of how hard they played. I thought we executed well. We also had some world-class bonehead football on all three sides of the ball. But I would have to say the thing that I was most impressed with, I thought we competed hard throughout. And if you compete hard, you can overcome some of the bonehead stuff. And then some of the basic execution stuff becomes more explosive.
And just in terms of the ebbs and flows of this year and what kind of the ups and downs, I guess for a game like this, what does this do for you guys as a team just to have a win like this and to come out and win kind of resoundingly?
Well, we're excited. Our teams have been excited to play from the beginning. I think there's probably some confidence to be drawn from that, certainly from the film. And because there were some very good plays in this game, some very competitive plays where guys just played really hard. And, and I felt like our guys did play like they, wanted to play more. I mean, if this game went into extra innings, so to speak, I think we would have liked to have kept playing. But I think that, I think part of it is just the whole execution, getting used to the guy next to you. And it's been a gradual process, and we're certainly not there yet. I mean, if you saw some of the plays I saw out there to the negative, no, we're not there yet. But, we took a step today.
All right, up next we'll go to Neil Price.
Season high, 151 yards. Was that something that was in the game plan that you wanted to do more this week, or was that maybe a product of the offensive line just continuing to improve and opening up holes and doing some things for you there?
I thought we played better on the offensive line, and I thought our backs did a better job reading the holes and things like that. And I also think that some of the balls we threw early probably opened some things up for us.
Thank you.
Up next we'll go to Steve Robertson.
Coach, along those same lines about the running game, the wrinkle you did with the fake toss and inside handoff, I mean, what was it about that play that made you feel like it would be successful, and why did you have so much success with it?
It's just sort of a fly sweep's all it is. I've always thought that is a great play. I've always thought that's a great play, and I've seen teams run it, like you say on the high school level where it's their signature play. It's an old play, and so maybe old enough that folks forgot about it. But I thought it played pretty well today. It's got a lot in common with a lot of stuff. It's kind of a draw, or it's the sprint draw. It's kind of a draw. It's kind of a sprint draw. It's kind of a counter. So I don't know. I guess it's a hybrid of some good stuff. But it's been around. When Fred Flintstone was quarterback, they had that play, and Fred was pretty good at that play. So anyway, we decided to break it out.
Up next, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Mike, that y'all's first score, I guess Paul Blackwell recovers the muff punt maybe in the end zone, and kind of felt like the dam broke, so to speak, at that point. And just from then on, you guys just kind of rolled. Was there kind of that feel on the sideline? I mean, was that kind of I guess how big of a moment was that for you all to kind of catch your breath and get going?
Well, I felt like we were excited to play from the start. And then, that first series, I thought we were really rolling that our first defensive series, and then, had got a mishap that I thought maybe we could overcome better, but certainly, you can do your own observations on that. But and then So then kind of went in the tank the rest of that drive. But I thought we attacked the adversity of that and attacked their offense after that, and it worked out.
Up next, we'll go to Tyler Horka.
Mike, you mentioned that first drive. Obviously, you don't want to lose a team captain on the second play of the game, but Missouri does go down and score. But then it seems like you guys kind of just put that behind you and rallied. What can you say about your team for doing that? It's not an easy thing to lose a captain and still play the way they did, I'm sure.
I was proud of the way they played. I thought they played competitively, and that's the thing is, we have been competitive really all year in practice hard, play hard. We just do it incongruently. We just do it in spurts and sort of segmented. I mean, we're a young enough team as it is, and then when you have all kinds of contact tracing and all that business and interruptions, then then it splinters it further. So I think sometimes it's tough to get a 10 over the circus when that happens. And so then I thought that, but we have been making steps that way, and it looked better today. It's certainly not perfect, but I thought, we were aggressive, competitive, and again, I was really proud of them for that.
Up next, we'll go to David Murray.
Coach, a couple of questions about the running game. You mentioned the work the offensive line did. How much more comfortable are Marks and Johnson getting in this, as you'd indicate? Are they more patient, or are they just taking their time and looking for what's there instead of forcing something?
I think they've gotten better at seeing the grass. I think they, are starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. A really good running back, if you see, always kind of has a rhythm about him. I mean, lines up and just kind of explodes out of his stance and, comfortable enough to really hit the hole hard. I think we're getting better at that.
Another question, even though you don't like your quarterbacks to run a lot, do you think that Will Rogers' first scramble, 18 yards, which, by the way, is the second longest carry of the whole team this season, did that open anything up with Missouri that you saw?
Maybe, but they played a lot of man anyway. I actually thought he could have run it more, to be honest with you. We're asking him to read the field, which that's the primary thing we want him to do. But when their backs are to you when their backs are to you, and if you're protecting pretty well, everybody's covered, you're going to have some space to run it.
Next, we'll go to Tyler Horka.
I don't have another. I think you already got me, Josh.
Okay. We'll go to Brad Locke then.
All right, Brad.
No, Brad. We'll skip him. We'll go to Steve Robertson then.
Coach, there's a lot of bowl teams and players that are opting out. I mean, how concerned are you about that sort of thing? You've said all along that you really want to play as much football as you can. What's kind of your message to your team now? Is that's now a possibility?
Well, football is always exciting to play, and that's why I'd like to think everybody signed up in the first place. And but I'm not too concerned about it. But everybody that's excited to play, we'd be really excited to go to a bowl game.
Up next, we'll go to John Sokoloff.
Mike Leach talking with the media downstairs.
Mike, how did you
a couple of missed handoffs, so to speak, I guess.
Mike, how did you guys, what did you kind of say to your team after the third quarter when you kind of got them all together, when it was a 2-possession game going into there? What specifically was the message there?
Yeah, just finish the game. We did some good things, but none of it counts unless we finish,
And then you mentioned offensively a little bit earlier, but with Will, how much more with the type of man coverage does he kind of excel with that, and just your offense as a whole?
Well, they kind of bounced between the two. The first half they played a lot of man, some of it with 2 safety, which is a little out of character for them. And then they got to where they're playing that real loose zone stuff, the drop 8 business, and they made a run of that. Then we moved the ball on that, and then they went back to man, which is kind of, that's what they're used to. That's their best, what they do best. And then some blitz off and on. I mean, there was a blitz that was a big play for the drive. They brought a bunch of people, and Cyrus jumped up and caught that post, so that was pretty good there on that particular play because they were really heating him up. And then then they went back to then they shuffled through some defenses, and but in the end they played a lot of man, and that's what they do, is they play man.
And the last one from me is, you guys made it through your full SEC game schedule this year. You played all of your games. I mean, how kind of surprised are you or are you surprised that you were able to get through the whole season like a little bit unscathed, I guess, because you got every game in? And how kind of like proud of your guys for actually making it?
I'm really proud of them for that. I mean, because for about 5 weeks we've been under the threshold there, the 53-man threshold. So I think that's impressive, and they're young enough. If we can keep getting better together, well, one day some of these guys may be dangerous to know, and I hope that's the case, and we'll see what happens.
Your first career touchdown at any level, or how did that feel?
I was actually a linebacker in high school, so I scored about twice through my high school career, but definitely on the collegiate level, I've never scored before.
And when you got in the end zone, fell on the ball, what kind of happened on that play, if you can kind of talk us through it?
Basically, I saw the guy tracking back because Tucker had a really good punt and executed his job, and the guy dropped it, and I think a couple guys bobbled it before I got there, and I happened to be the one to get my hands on it, and it was in the end zone. And I guess dreams really do come true.
Up next, we'll go to Tyler Horka.
I'm just curious if anything felt different about that play, or is that what you're doing every single time you're snapping on a punt? You're gunning down and going for the guy, obviously, but just kind of compare and contrast what this one was like in recovering that and compared to some others where obviously that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it always catches you by surprise whenever the returner drops the ball, but every play, my job is to be there on sky situations. So if the guy does drop the ball, I'm supposed to be the guy to recover it. So it is a surprise whenever he does drop it, but I was just executing my job because that was the game plan.
And then just kind of a quick follow-up. What were the emotions like when you got back to the sideline? Obviously, I'm sure everyone's patting you on the helmet, on the shoulders. Just kind of take us through the immediate aftermath there.
Oh, well, first I had to snap the extra point, and that was really fun to try to get myself to calm down for that. But afterwards, it was really awesome to see all the guys coming up and celebrating with me in my last game at Davis Wade.
Up next, we'll go to Robbie Falk.
Paul, did you sense that was, kind of a game-changing play? Because they had driven down the field offensively and scored. State's offense had, I think, a 4-play drive and had to punt it. Did you sense that things were turning a little bit with that play, and did you feel like that was a big game-changing play for y'all?
Yes, sir, for sure. Anytime that you can get a big play on special teams or a turnover like that or a touchdown, it's always a big game-changing plays. And I know that it had a big impact on the game, and it kind of helped our motors get running. After that, our offense started rolling. I don't think we punted again until pretty much the end of the fourth quarter. So I definitely think that it lit a fire for us, and it helped us execute our game plan.
Up next, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Paul, I'm sure after games you probably get congratulations and things from family or friends or whatever anyway, but I'm just curious if you got back to the locker room or something and picked up your phone, and was it a little crazier than usual today?
Yeah. Usually after the game, I walk up to my family and they tell me good game, but this time I had all kinds of love from my past teammates, past coaches, people I haven't contacted in a while, and it's just it's a cool feeling to you kind of sit back and see how many people are actually watching you play and how far you've come.
We'll go back to Tyler.
Just to follow up on that, what was the most surprising one? Well, who texted you that you looked at it and you're like, man, I can't believe they saw that play, or which one kind of stood out to you?
I haven't really took a huge look at all of my text messages and like thoroughly, I would say. But it's just cool seeing like my family members that live halfway across the country and stuff. They text me, and it's cool that they were watching my games.
All right, that'll do it for Paul. Thank you. Nathaniel Watson, if you have any questions, please put your name in the chat. Up first, we'll go to Brad Locke.
Okay. Hey, Nathaniel. Just want to ask you real quick, after Errol goes down, really early in the game like that, and then you have to kind of basically take over his role. I mean, how prepared did you feel for that moment?
I'm always prepared for every moment that they throw at me. So I was thankful for the opportunity, so yeah.
Up next, we'll go to Ben Portnoy.
You guys have been close a couple of times this year and down the stretch this year, but to win a game like you guys did tonight, what does that do for you guys as a team? And what was it kind of like walking off the field after a game the way you guys played?
It just give us more fuel for the long run. We get another opportunity in the bowl game, so be it. We're gonna go out there and get another win.
Up next, we'll go to John Sokoloff.
How much are you guys going to be kind of eagerly monitoring the bowl game and like who you play, where you go, if y'all are in one, all that stuff? Like how much are you going to be eagerly anticipating that?
I won't say a lot, because we really just want another opportunity to play another game this season, since we only played 10 games in all ACC. So we just want to get another opportunity, get another win.
And Mike kind of gathered all of you guys together at the end of the third quarter. What did he kind of say to you guys, and what was the general message there when it was a 2-possession game going into the fourth?
Just finish. That's all we've been doing this whole season. We got to just finish, and we finished tonight, so nice speech.
We'll go back to Brad.
Hey, just considering, how shorthanded y'all have been, and then you lose a guy like Errol, I mean, how did y'all kind of keep it together and keep keep Missouri's offense pretty much in check for most of the night?
Oh, you repeat that question again?
I want to know, after you're already shorthanded, then you lose Errol, and how did y'all kind of keep it together to keep Missouri in check?
It's next man mentality. So if somebody go down, next person got to step up and be the next leader or whatever it take. Got to get the win. So we had each other back out there, and we just fought.
We'll go to one more last question to John.
How much easier is it for you guys defensively when your offense is putting up this many points? Because, last week they put up 10 points, and the offense has had its struggles this year. So how much different is it now when, the offense puts up 50-plus points for you guys defensively?
It's nice. It's nice. We get a break every now and then, and offense capitalize. So we got to go back out there and just give them the ball back. So.
All right. Thank you, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
To get back within a score, what did you see on that play, and what were you guys able to do defensively to get, I guess it was 4 interceptions tonight?
Honestly, I think he built up throughout the week. I mean, in the secondary, we feel like we've been letting the team down a little bit with turnovers and, getting the ball out and creating turnovers, throughout the game, interceptions, forced fumbles, all that type of stuff. So, ever since, probably midway through the season, we've been trying to make, bigger emphasis on let's go after the ball. When the ball's in the air, it's our ball now. It's no more 50-50 ball time. We got to go and make plays for our team. Just make sure we keep the momentum on our side. Throughout the week, Coach Washington and Coach Arnett, 2 great coaches, and they've been keeping me alert on make sure if you get that wheel right there, that's you. You gotta stay on it. You gotta stay on it. Matter of fact, I think Coach Washington told me right before I stepped on the field, and during that play, I can just remember them saying that to me. I can remember the reps in practice and stuff like that, and I thank God that the ball came right to me. So, yeah.
Up next, we'll go to Robbie Falk.
Colin, you're supposed to be trading out spots every now and then with Fred Peters. He went down with an injury. You've had to take over and have a lot of snaps every week. Just how far do you feel like you've come from, the Alabama game or even before then to this point in the season, to whether it be your cover skills or whatever? How far do you feel like you've come from that point to now?
I feel like I've made tremendous steps throughout this season, and with Fred getting hurt and stuff like that, he's still been there with me. I mean, he's been a mentor from the start ever since the first game against LSU. I mean, there was times when I went in the game, he would come over to the sideline, he would ask me, what did I see out there when I was watching him play? And I would tell him, and he would tell me what he said. So, I mean, just having that mentorship from Fred, and then and all the coaches, being on me in practice day in and day out to step up, get to the ball, make plays when the ball's in the air. I feel like it wasn't just on my part. I feel like the mentorship between all my whole team and Fred and Coach Washington, Coach Arnett, I feel like it's helped me progress as much as I've had in these few games that we've been playing.
We'll go back to Ben.
Colin, you guys lose a guy like Errol on, I think it was the second play of the game. I mean, what was the mood like for you guys defensively when you lose a guy like that, a senior captain? And then how did you feel like you guys kind of responded to that?
I feel like we could have responded a little bit better. I mean, when a guy of his caliber is ejected out of the game like that, it does take a little bit of air out of the stadium, a little bit of air out of our defense. But we felt like after they drove down on that same drive and scored, we kind of let Errol down right there. With it being, with him being such a big part of our defense, he's also been a guy that's been preaching to finish. No matter the circumstance, you hold your brother accountable and you do it for your brother next to you. And we felt like we let him down on that drive. So for us to come back out, the next few drives and handle business and have that next man up mentality, I feel like we represented Errol the best we could.
All right, guys, that'll do it for.
Yes, Jaquavius, so what did you and the offense see that said you could run on Missouri?
The box, how many people they had stacked in the box. It was a light box, so we should have gashed them every time.
What did you think your offensive line was doing during the game?
They was doing very good. They was coming off, getting to the linebackers. Very good.
Up next, we'll go to John Sokoloff.
And kind of building off that, Jaquavius, I mean, what specifically offensively? I mean, against Auburn, obviously, you guys struggled a little bit. Now tonight, this explosion, the most points you've scored in a game this season. Where have you guys kind of improved as an offense?
We improved a lot throughout the week. We've been at a high tempo in practice, so it lead over to the game. We've been executing plays pretty good, so that's why we had a good week this week.
Up next, we'll go to Ben Portnoy.
Woody, in a game like this and with how close you guys have been the last couple of weeks, I guess, what does it feel like walking off the field to have a win like you did tonight? And I guess, do you guys feel like it was kind of the culmination a little bit of what you guys have been trying to put together offensively?
Yeah, we've been trying to put that together, but it felt good walking off the field knowing you got a W, and it'll lead on to next season, plus this bowl game.
We'll go back to David.
Jaquavius, as the game went on, did you sit there thinking, we've been trying to do this all year, and now the offense is clicking, we're just running the ball, and the coach is trusting us to run the ball?
Yeah, it feels good that the coaches trust us to run the ball and the O-line doing their job. It feels good to be a running back in this system.
What did you think when early in the game you saw Will take off and run for 18 yards?
Yeah, I was happy. I was like, oh, yeah, look at Will.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Jaquavius, I'm just curious offensively, how much of a boost or did things kind of loosen up any on the sidelines when Paul Blackwell gets that the muff punt, recovers it in the end zone, and it's a tie game again after kind of a little bit of a slow start for you guys? And it seemed like from that point on, you guys really started to roll. Did that feel like a big moment to you?
Yeah, it was a big moment because you got to never take a play off special team. We got to play on special team. That was a plus. So that's how I feel like the momentum came from that, and we kept it going.
All right, guys. Oh, nope. We'll go one more question to David Murray. David, you there?
I'm sorry, I'm here. Okay. It's been a long season for you guys, a strange season, a strange year, but coach is saying he'd be excited to go to a bowl game. Would all you guys be excited to play one more game this season?
Yeah, everybody decided to play one more game. No matter what, it's the last game. Football players want to play the next game. They don't want to have an extra game to play.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That'll do it for Jaquavius. Thank you.